Elliott Bisnow, Make No Small Plans, Lessons on Thinking Big, Chasing Dreams, and Building Community. Delve into the lessons learned from a journey marked by groundbreaking endeavors in the book, Make No Small Plans, Lessons on Thinking Big, Chasing Dreams, and Building Community by Elliott Bisnow. Packed with anecdotes, lessons, and thought-provoking encounters, the book explores how dreams are brought to life and transformed into tangible realities while staying true to the heart. As you follow the story of Summit's founders from humble beginnings to successful entrepreneurs, uncover the essence of turning passions into hard work, discovering authenticity, having a fresh perspective on networking, establishing strong relationships, and fostering a culture that breeds innovation.
The truth about passion projects. The common adage of, do something you love and you'll never work a day in your life, is not entirely accurate. Passion projects may be enjoyable, but they can turn you into a perfectionist that strives for constant improvement. Whether it's playing tennis, practicing the guitar, or writing code, the hard and boring parts of the process are meaningful because it connects with who you are and your interests. It's not a question of work versus passion, but rather care and interest. That's the foundation for success in building a global company. The commitment to something that matters, expresses your values, and moves you toward your authentic goals, is what sees you through and keeps you pushing. Authenticity, the key to unlocking your true potential. Discover the importance of authenticity in pursuing your dreams, how to take calculated risks, and the value of starting small. In 2008, Elliott, one of Summit's founders, had an epiphany while walking to campus. He found himself caught in a large crowd of students heading towards the library to study the same books and solve the same problems. He realized he didn't want to compete in the same labor market as his peers, but instead, work on his own problems and become an entrepreneur. This was the beginning of his journey towards authenticity. Acting authentically doesn't necessarily mean quitting everything to take an all-or-nothing approach, but rather taking calculated risks. Elliott's dad offered him practical advice, spending some of his savings and staying in college, while working on what he truly cared about. If things didn't work out, he'd still have options and half of his savings. This taught Elliott that acting authentically doesn't mean being reckless. The first step to authenticity is discovering what interests you. Sometimes, it presents itself serendipitously, as it did for Elliott, but sometimes, it requires deliberate effort. One should sit with the question, what am I interested in, and write down their answers. This could be anything from cooking to fitness to learning a language. The next step is to make time for those things, to start small by cooking, taking a class, or enrolling in a course. So many big journeys start with this shift from a passive wish to active engagement. The key is to recognize that it doesn't have to be all or nothing. By taking small steps, one can slowly push open doors to new opportunities. This approach worked for Elliott, who started selling ads in an online newsletter in his spare time, and used the skills he learned from cold calls to launch his company, Summit. In sum, by discovering what we're interested in and pursuing those things authentically, we can unlock our potential while taking calculated risks. Actively engaging in our interests may open doors to opportunities we never imagined, and starting small can lead to big journeys. Disrupting the networking scene. In the late 2000s, attending networking events was the only way for entrepreneurs to connect with each other. However, it was transactional and discouraged building lasting relationships. The Summit founders sought to change this by creating a forum that encouraged deeper and more interesting conversations, leading to the launch of the Summit series. The idea was to bring as many entrepreneurs as possible together in a nice environment, where long-term relationships could be nurtured. This started with a 3-day ski trip, which marked the beginning of something big and disrupted the networking scene. The power of the right mix. Authenticity, passion, and unconventional ideas mean everything to Summit's founders. For them, the key lies in bringing together an eclectic mix of people who share these values and intriguing ideas in surreal environments. The result is an immersive event where great things happen, lasting relationships are born, collaborative ventures emerge, and groundbreaking startups are launched. The recipe for success lies in keeping it real yet surreal, with a focus on the right mix of authentic and passionate people, engaging conversations, and surreal environments that make memories stick. Fostering a culture of innovation. The book, Summit, explores how fostering a culture that values any idea, regardless of who proposes it, leads to innovation. Anyone can have a great idea, and generating more ideas can lead to finding the good ones. By engaging with seemingly crazy ideas, businesses can uncover solutions that work. For example, Summit was able to get Jeff Bezos to speak at one of their events without paying a speaker's fee by offering him a unique platform to tell his story. The moral of the story is to embrace big plans and give crazy ideas a chance to thrive.
In summary, Make No Small Plans unveils the journey of Summit's founders in redefining networking events and building meaningful connections among driven individuals. It sheds light on the power of hard work rooted in passion, finding authenticity, and taking calculated risks in search of true ambition. The book also reveals how the right mix of interesting people and inspiring environments can foster long-lasting relationships, personal growth, and remarkable achievements. Furthermore, creating a nurturing culture that is open to revolutionary ideas, no matter how wild they seem, can lead to extraordinary success. Ultimately, this inspiring book invites readers to embark on an authentic quest for greatness, while scaling their dreams and making an indelible impact on the world.